Brock Purdy's had a phenomenal season. Great story. Now he has to play in the playoffs. Whole different thing, different level of focus and attention to detail, and the game plan is going to be specific to him. Now he's got to face a team that's faced him before. What are your expectations for Brock's first playoff game?
I think he'll still have a smooth outing. It won't be nowhere near. I think it's going to be looking almost around as what we saw in that short week game against Seattle where they clinched the division. Because that's the game you could probably say was his worst game so far that he's played in the 6 games. Because I mean, look, I know he was hurt, so he might look better, but I just want to factor in another team who's seeing him again. Is a team who's very familiar with the 49ers, and then you throw in the rain element. How is he going to fare? So that's a question mark there. How hard is it going to rain? Because it might be like one of those off and on rains, because you know how it is around here. And if ultimately is he really going to crumble, or how much is he going to crack under playoff pressure? Because there's a difference. Personally, I don't think he's going to crack under playoff pressure, because I think his last 6 games have pretty much been close to that. And at that point, I don't think there's anything that's questioned about in terms of his mentality. I think he's been tested for the most part on almost every level, whether it's a pass rush, whether it's a game that needed to be won, whether it's he's had a stretch of bad throws and he just comes back and rebounds. So I'm not too much worried about his mentality from a playoff pressure standpoint. It's just in terms of seeing a team that knows his team, that knows him again, and it's rain. How's he going to fare? Those are all going to be questions, and see how much that could probably cap where he's going to really perform.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the turnovers are going to be with Brock in this game, because again, I feel like that's the only way the Niners lose is if they turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't been loose with the football. Actually, his turnovers have been explainable. But this is a playoff game, and we've seen quarterbacks who've been really doing well just fall apart and give the game away. Is he going to try to do too much? Is he not ready for the moment? I mean, remember Brian Hoyer, his 5-pick game 10 years ago? That was crazy. Who else? I mean, I guess that's it. Pete Carroll, good coach. Seen him before. Does he have a tendency on Brock? Is Brock going to try to do too much? Is he going to throw the pick that ruins the season? And you'd be like, well, what'd you expect? He was a rookie. You know?
I don't think they can do too much damaging things on Brock. I just think because it's going to be another thing that they've seen in the rain element, because ultimately Seattle doesn't have great talent on defense. They have just a few players who are worth noticing, and then other than that, they just have a collective unit of guys who are not bad players. But I think I would hope that we pound the chest. There's people that pound the chest and the table about the Niners have great talent all around them. How many mouths are going to feed? I mean, you even ask Kyle, hey, isn't it hard to kind of get all these players the ball? And it's all right, if it is this hard and you have all this players, then it shouldn't be too troubling to damage the Seahawks defense. They might have your number for a stretch and for time throughout the game, but I don't want to hear nothing of that. And again, the rain probably will make it closer and better for Seattle, but I don't think it should be that much of an issue. And it really does stem about, is Purdy going to fumble? Is he going to throw that pick game? Because, I mean, we haven't seen that from him yet. I feel like we're still waiting for him to see it, but maybe he just doesn't have it in him. But I understand this is probably the game where we do see it from him against a team that knows him in the rain and playoff, and maybe something different. It's a different element.
I just don't feel like he's faced a team that's really game planned for him yet. I feel like every team that's faced the Niners down the stretch has really gone with their game plan for what what it would be if Jimmy Garoppolo were on the field. Mm-hmm. And they're different quarterbacks, and Brock Purdy keeps taking advantage of teams selling out to stop the run by just rolling out of the pocket to his left, buying time, throwing it down the field. I mean, all these explosives are wide open because teams aren't expecting them. Now, I mean, maybe there never will be a good game plan against Brock Purdy this season. Maybe it'll have to wait till next season. But Pete, if anyone can do it, it's Pete. Seeing him twice for the second time in a month. So I guess this is a huge test for Brock. Another one.
Kaepernick didn't have much. I think the next year when Cap stormed onto the scene, his first year starting and getting the nod the rest of the way, no one could stop him. And then the next year you saw more okay, he's getting capped a lot more now than he is last season. Is he starting to get figured out? Is this formation getting figured out?
You know who could stop him though? Always Pete Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
Remember 2012? They went to New England, beat the Patriots, came back, got stomped the next week by Pete Carroll. That was Kaepernick.